Okay, what you're gonna need for finger knitting, really the only thing you need are these things. However, if you do need to take a break, I'll show you later in this video how to pause a finger knitting and then keep going, okay? Most yarn is like this thick. This is like the pretty common yarn that you will see. You might have something a little thicker like this. I actually prefer the thicker yarn. I think it looks nice, but this works just fine too. So, these are a couple I have made with thicker yarn. This one was kind of a fun bubbly one, so really any yarn will work for this. Just know that you'll get a slightly different effect. So what you're going to do is you don't want to cut anything just yet. You will save the scissors till the end. Make sure you have quite a bit of yarn and you don't want to cut any yarn off of here. If you have any rings on your fingers, I prefer to take those off so the yarn doesn't get snagged on them. So all you need is a whole skein of yarn is what this is called, or it might be in a ball. You want the whole thing, and you're just going to start with a tail about, I don't know, to be safe, about as long as a pen, maybe a little bit longer. And you're just going to kind of hold it here with your thumb like this. And I go like this. I go around behind my first finger, over the second one, under that one, over this one, and then I'm going to weave. So I'll come back around, I will go over this one, under this one, over this one. The first time you do this, you want to do it 2 times. Okay, so I'll do it again. Come around this one, over, under, over, around, over, under, over. So what you're left with is 2 strands on every finger. So this is very simple. You take the bottom one, put it over the top. Take the bottom one, put it over the top. Take the bottom one, put it over the top. Take the bottom one, put it over the top. Then you want to start exactly the same as you did last time. So I am going to come over this one, under this one, over this one, go around, over, under, over, and again, you are left with 2 strands on every finger. You want to start on the same side. So start with my pointer, go to my middle, my ring finger, and my pinky finger. Okay, after you've done this a couple times, you can take this little tail that you've been holding onto and just give it kind of a yank down your arm. You'll see it gets a lot longer. Okay, then I can go back and you are just going to repeat this until you get it to as long as you want. You'll get faster and faster as you go. It gets pretty easy. Just like that. Yank the tail over the middle. Always making sure you have 2 on each finger. And put the bottom one over the top. Okay, let's say you get to about this point and it's not as long as you want it to be, but you need to stop and go to the bathroom or you need to eat dinner or something. What you'll need is some kind of a pen or a rod or a pencil. I like these kinds, like either a pencil or something that has this little hook. That kind of helps. You could also, I mean, be creative. You could use a clothespin. You could use really anything. So just watch what I do with this. You want to make sure that you're going to put all of these loops onto your pen. You want to make sure that the pen goes into the loops the same direction with all of them. So first I'll pick up this one. I'm going to slide it underneath that little thing and pull it off. Keep in mind that the order too. Then I'm going to go to my next one, slide it under. I'm keeping it pointing down. Okay, pick up the next one, slide it back, and pick up the last one, slide it back. So then you can keep it on here and just make sure that it doesn't come off. You'll have to start all over. Keep it on here. Then when you want to put it back on your hand, when you're ready, you just have to remember that the first loop here came from my pinky. So this last one here. So I want to put it back on the same way I took it off. Slide it off, go to my next finger, slide it off, go to my next finger, slide it off, go to my next finger, slide it off, and then I can continue. Give it a little yank to tighten it and just keep going. So remember, I started over this one, under, over, around, over, under, over. Slide the bottom one off. Give it a yank and keep going. Okay, let's say that this is as long as I want my finger knitting to be. I will show you how to finish off, because if I were to just slip these loops off my fingers right now, the whole thing will unravel. So what you want to do now is you want to cut a tail. To be safe than better safe than sorry, I would cut a slightly longer tail. Don't go crazy with it though. Maybe like 6 inches, 8 inches, something like that. You're gonna take this tail, and I like to, just like I did with the pen, I'm gonna put it through the top of my loop like this. Once you have that string, oops, a little tangled, through the top of the loop, you can slide it off. Put it through the next one, slide it off, put it through the next one, slide it off, and then the last one, and slide off. Then you just want to tighten it like that, and then you kind of tied off your weaving. Now from here, this is where you get to be creative. This is where, if you want to tie these ends together, you could make a scarf. Maybe you could play around with weaving a something stretchy through there, like a rubber band, and see if you can make a scrunchie if you made a shorter one, or maybe you make it really long like these ones and you make a what are they called, an infinity scarf. Maybe you make a headband. Ooh, maybe it's a headband. Maybe if you have any skills in sewing, you could even make a really long one and make some kind of a rug or a hat. So many different ideas. You could make a snake, a belt, a rope, whatever you want. Have tons of fun with that, you guys. I hope you like this video, and good luck.